you guys, Barcelona are through to the quarterfinals of the Copa del Rey after beating Racing Santander 2-0. And listen to me, I live for it and we have to talk about it. But first, if this is your first time seeing one of my videos, hi guys, I am JustMax. On this channel, I talk about football from La Liga to UCL. And of course, it's always going to be Vizca Barca for me as I am a culé. Yesterday, we had the shock of our lives when Albacete's second string beat Real Madrid and knocked them out of the Copa del Rey. So today we knew that Hansi Flick and Barcelona, they had it all to play because right now it is Barcelona's tournament to lose with their biggest rivals out. And Hansi Flick, he certainly understood the assignment because even though he did rest some players, the team that he fielded today was still as strong a team as could be fielded. It was Joan Garcia in goal, who is Barcelona's first-string goalkeeper. And listen to me, we needed him. In left back, it was Alejandro Balde. I thought he did have a good game today. In center back, it was a pairing of Pau Kubasi and Gerard Martin, which is something that is coming to be like something that I now expect. It was a good pairing from them. Jules Koundé was on the right back. I thought he did start out shaky, but he ended the game as, I want to say, one of the best defenders on the day. Dani Olmo, Marc Bernal, and Marc Casado were our midfield trio for this game, and I thought they did all right. Marc Bernal certainly had an opportunity in the first half where he could have gotten a goal for himself. But, you know, they did okay. And then up front, it was Marcus Rashford on the left, starting over Rafinha, whom we had a bit of discomfort on Sunday. So he was rested today. And then Ferran Torres did in the line. And Lamine Yamal, of course, in that preferred right-hand position. And honestly, I knew that this was going to be a very, very tough game for Barcelona. Racing Santander, they are number one in the Segunda. They're a team that plays much like Barcelona. They also like to play a very high line. They want to put the oppositions in positions to get them on the offside trap. So this was going to be a tough game. They know how to play football. It was the offside trap versus the offside trap. And from the very beginning of the game, I thought that Racing Santander, they came out with all the punches that they could throw. And Barcelona did a good job in that first 10 minutes to weather all of the storm. The atmosphere certainly helped. The fans were behind them. And so I thought we did a good job in containing them. And then we started to play our football, which was very, very good. It was just end-to-end stuff at some point, I would say. The first half, though, it flew by. It was almost like if you blink, you miss it. There was so much action. Again, like I said, this was two teams that like to play their football. Racing, I was surprised by some of the quality that they were putting in together. And every time that they came forward, I'm not going to lie to you, they did look like they were going to be threatening. I felt like Barcelona, if we weren't careful there in the first half, we could have conceded. But that was not the case today. In the second half, though, is where much of the action did, come into play. And I thought that Barcelona came out certainly more stronger. At this point, I was kind of surprised, maybe because Racing, they couldn't maintain that level of intensity that they started with. We ended up pressing them a little bit. I felt like by the second half of the game, the possession was skewing heavily into Barcelona's favor. We had a little bit more of the ball. We were pressing, and they certainly changed their game from being, more front-footed to being more reliant on the ball over the top. I wouldn't blame them too either because they certainly couldn't get on the ball. Barcelona did end up putting in more shots, but it was looking really, really dicey. It kind of gave me a feel of the last time out when we played Guadalajara, where it took a little bit for Barcelona to unlock that Guadalajara defense. It was certainly much of the same today as well. Racing, they became a little bit more compact in that second half. It was very, very tight. But again, the cream will always rise to the top. And today it was Ferran Torres on the 66th minute who broke the deadlock for Barcelona. And it was a very, very beautiful pass from Fermin Lopez, I want to say, that just plays in Ferran Torres through on goal. And the way that he had the confidence around the goalkeeper to just put it into the open net, I live for it. And there's some days when Ferran Torres is not really Ferran Torres in the way he needs to. Today was not that day. I live for it, was T. And for a minute there, we thought that this game was going to be one of those games that's going to end in a 1-1 draw. 1-0 wins for Barcelona, I should say rather. And honestly, I just didn't feel good about it. I wanted a game where Barcelona was going to win a lot. Hansi Flick made a ton of substitutions in that second half. Obviously, because again, like I said, a team like Racing Santander, they're always going to believe they want to come and get that goal. They want to force that extra time. And in fact, the fans were roaring them on, shouting, "Si se puede," so So Hansi Flick had to respond. We ended up having to have Pedri, Lewandowski, Rafinha, Eric Garcia, and of course Fermin Lopez, who had the assist, coming to the game. That changed the whole complexion of things. We did end up containing that ball a little bit more, but that's not to say that Racing Santander did not have, opportunities of their own. In fact, they did have the ball in the net twice, but on those two occasions, it was offside. Like I said at the beginning of this, it was the battle of the offside trap. Barcelona was doing their thing with their high line. Racing was doing their thing. Because even sometimes when we tried to move up, the flag went up very, very quickly. And then towards the end of the game, though, there was that opportunity for Racing. I thought that they could level up the match. It was just a very, very sweet ball. The player was on through on goal to Joan Garcia. It was 1v1, and this is where I want to take some time to give Joan Garcia his kudos. I remember when Barcelona signed Joan Garcia, and Robert Lewandowski gave an interview, and he said, like, in a team like Barcelona, you're not going to face many shots all the time, but when you do face that 1 to 2 shots in a game, I expect you to save those shots, or we expect you to save those shots. And he was dead on then. And today, Joan Garcia repaid those words, because again, Racing Santander, they did not do a lot in terms of threatening the Barcelona goal. They only had, let me check it, they only had 3 shots on target, 7 in total. So it wasn't as if to say that Joan Garcia was busy being bothered in this whole entire game. But in that one moment, the one clear-cut chance where towards the end of the match, the Racing Santander could level the game and, take it to extra time, Joan Garcia was called into action. He was big, he blocked the shot, and he just saved Barcelona's asses right there. And I'm not even going to lie to you, I was screaming when I saw that sequence of play go down, and I was so excited because, hey, we're not trying to make a mistake like Real Madrid. We don't do that over here, okay? Real Madrid may be used to conceding late goals. We don't do that over here. We don't do that over here. But like I said, I was not ready to win a game 1-0 under Hansi Flick. I've been spoiled. We've won 5-0, 6-0, 7-0, 4-0, 2-0. So 1-0, it wasn't giving our style, And I safe to say that Lamine Yamal and Rafinha knew exactly what I was thinking. They combined expertly well, because just 1 minute, Racing were trying to equalize, and the next minute the ball is on the other side of the pitch. The ball is played behind Robert Lewandowski, I would say. Rafinha picks it up, sways the pass back to Lamine Yamal, and just like that, he has an open net. Barcelona score with the very last kick of the game. It is 2-0. We are moving on to the quarter-final draws on Monday, where it is all to play for us. In fact, we have this tournament to lose. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Like, no mistakes were made today. It was a good game. I want to say a very big thank you and a huge shout out to the Racing players. They did give Barcelona a guard of honor at the start of the game, which was very, very nice from them, because again, they did not play the Super Copa tournament, but for them to have that level of class, to give that guard of honor, kudos to every one of you guys. Y'all did your big one there. But what a sensational game from both teams. I do expect to see Racing, sometime in La Liga very soon. But again, as a Barca fan, I am so excited to just walk out of here with the win, and moving on to the next round of the competition. Let me know what you thought about this game in the comment section. Who was your favorite player? For me, everybody did so well. But if you wanted to know, it's Lamine Yamal and Rafinha combining for that last goal. Just gave me all the life. But let me know who was yours in the comment section, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.